Hey guys, this is Peepersoak again, and today for this video I will show you on how to properly set up the Honeycomb game. Similar to the other games, we need to open the actual settings for this game. So the very first settings again is the game world, the preparation time. We can just set this to 15. The actual game time, or the preparation time, we can set this to a little bit higher because when the player when the game starts, the players will be teleported on each honeycomb, and they will need to memorize the shape. So I will show it later on how, or I will show it to you now. So yeah, that's basically what will happen when the game starts. That's why we need a higher preparation time to give the players a little bit time to memorize their shape. Yeah. So SS Honeycomb settings events. So we need to increase the preparation time to 45 seconds, then the game time to 120 seconds. Then we should skip the honeycomb height first and proceed to game field. So for this game, there are two fields, which is the actual game field and the honeycomb field. The honeycomb field is the field on where the players will actually play, and then the game field is the overall game field for this game. So for this game field, we can just open the chunk thingy, then select multiple add, select this and move to the opposite corner and select the other corner. So now we have 25 game fields. Then for the honeycomb fields, we can just select this corner, multiple add, select this, move to the opposite corner and select this. So basically, from this point up to the corner, that's the game field. Now, on the all the chunks inside this smooth stone slab square are all the honeycomb fields. Basically, all players will only play on this field. So remember, if the player is not inside the game field when the game starts, then they will be eliminated. That's why we need a separate field for that. So yeah. Now we will need, or we can proceed to the next settings, which is the set honeycomb. We are already done on this one. Then we need to set the honeycomb shape. So basically, this is the shape. This is the original shape of the honeycomb, and these are the target shape. So these are random shape that I created. Oh yeah, they are the same. So we will only set one shape for this one, but you can set multiple unlimited shapes if you want. And now to set this, the only thing you need to remember is that the anchor point, or the target point on each shape and the original shape should be the same. So for example, the center point or the anchor point for this shape is this center block, and then the anchor point for this original block is the center block also, and both of them have 2 blocks difference. Yeah, they have 2 blocks. So the ground first, second, and then center point, similar to this one, ground first, second, and then the center point. So they have 2 blocks difference. So to set the shape, so we can just open the settings, honeycomb shape, it will tell us to either add or remove a shape. So we will just need to add a one-word name for this shape. We can just do random one, then the width. So this is the width from the center point. So for us, we can just use this center block as the reference point. So from this center block, the width, the maximum width we have is 1 blocks. So 0, 1, 0, 1, and 0, 1. So we have 1 blocks width. And then the maximum height from the center points, we have 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2, we have 2. Now break the reference block to set it to. So we need to break this one. Now it will need, we will need to either compile this as a shape or compile this as a default blocks. So since this is a shape, we can just do compile shape. As you can see, random one shape has been added. So if we now if we click this honeycomb shape again and type remove, now you can see the random one shape on the options. So we can just do random one to remove this shape, but we will not do it, so we can just type exit. So now we need to add the actual default honeycomb. So before that, I want to quickly tell you that when registering or when creating this shape and default shape, you need to use this block, which is the honeycomb block. Don't use another block because they will not be counted, or they won't be able, the plugin will not count them as a honeycomb shape. Yeah. So if you use other blocks aside from honeycomb block, the plugin won't be able to register them properly. So be sure that when you register shapes and original blocks, you need to select the honeycomb block as the materials or as the block for that shape. So now we will set the default shape. As you can see, as you saw that I broke this block because we need to break it to actually select the reference point, which is the center block. You can select this reference point, but you also need to select this as a reference point. So basically, their reference points should be similar, very similar, or exactly similar. Yeah. So if you want to use this block, so if you want to use this block as a reference point, oh my god, then you need to use this block also as the reference point. If not, the plugin or the game will mess up. So yeah, so honeycomb settings, event, honeycomb shape, oh my god, add, then the name, which is original, we can just do original, maximum width. So since they are the same, we can just do 1, and then the height is 2, 1, 2. So 2. Now break the reference point. We already broken the reference point. Then before we compile this, we need to return the block. Yeah. So now we have this one. And we can now compile this as a default. Compile default. Yeah. Failed to complete default. Oh, default. We misspelled the default. Yeah. So now the default sheet has been added. So to test this, we can just select post 1. Oh, / post 1 and / post 2. These commands are available on FAW. Then we can just slash set a. Yeah. So now, to actually generate this, we need to first determine the honeycomb height. So now, to select the height, we need to select the reference point. So now we have a 6 blocks height. So basically, honeycomb height is the reference point on each on all shapes and default shape. Yeah. So now we can just do //s, and then we can just generate all of the honeycomb. So this is what will happen if you mess up the reference point. So firstly, let's just spawn everything and just and change the honeycomb height to this height. So now we have this block as the reference point, or the y value of this block is the reference point. So if we generate them, this is what will happen. It will mess up. So you need to properly set the reference point for this shape, or for all of the shape and all of the original shape. Both of them should have the same reference point. So we can just we can just revert this to the spawn, and then change the honeycomb height again to the proper reference point. Now if you generate them, it will properly be generated. Yeah. So next settings, so we have SS honeycombs, we have generate the spawn all blocks, start barrier. We don't need to start any we don't need to set any start barrier. Then end barrier. So we need the end barrier because this is the location of the next game. So we need a barrier for this location. So SR, we can just do multiple add. Break this, and now we have a 20 barrier blocks. Now we need to, where is that? We need to add, or yeah, we don't need to add. Okay. So now we can proceed to the next settings. Oh, SS Honeycomb event. So we have set the end barrier, should kill all, true, auto start next, true, and then 30-second delay before the next game starts. So yeah, that's all of the settings that we have. So lastly, I forgot, there's a button for the shape chunk. So basically, you can select this chunk as a shape chunk for a specific shape. So to do this, so we need to first clear this, then SS Honeycomb events, click the shape, then enter the shape that you want to add. So since we only have one shape for this one, we can just do random one, then break the shape, break the chunks that you want to be shape chunk. So break this. Now when we generate the actual when we generate all the blocks, the shape will be generated again on this specific chunk. So basically that's what that is the shape chunks. So now that the main settings are done, I will now explain to you the mechanics of this game. So basically, when the game starts, the player needs to be inside these game fields before the game starts, or else they will be eliminated. So basically, this is a by batch game. So if you have, for example, 20 players and there's only 9 game field, then the first 9 players will first play the first batch, then after that the other 9 will play for the second batch, then the remaining 2 players will play on the third batch. So this game will guarantee that all remaining players will be able to play. Yeah. So after that, if there are no more players remaining that have not played this game, then this main or the honeycomb game will end, and players will be able to move to the next game. So now this is the next game, which is the Tug of War game. So I will see you on the next video.